Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever just gone through your day and wondered why you do the things you do? Like why certain things absolutely trigger you, or why your brain reacts in ways that seem, honestly, totally illogical? Well, it turns out that our everyday, sometimes super frustrating behaviors actually have a fascinating biological architecture hiding just beneath the surface. So today, we're going to unpack the literal mechanics of your own mind. Let me ask you this directly. Have you ever wondered why getting dumped, ignored, or left out of a group literally aches in your chest? Like why heartbreak isn't just some poetic metaphor, but a very real, very heavy physical sensation?
And, what about this one? Have you ever felt that terrible, sinking guilt of snapping at the people you care about most just because you had a stressful day? I mean, why on earth are we so often the meanest to our closest loved ones?
To answer these questions, we're going to look at a roadmap of the mind's hidden architecture. We'll cover rejection as physical pain, the reminiscence bump, emotional displacement explained, and the power of daydreaming. Okay, let's dive right into this.
Section 1. Rejection as physical pain.
Okay, so almost everyone has experienced some form of rejection, losing a friendship, getting left out, and man, it deeply hurts. But think about this for a second. On one side, imagine burning your hand on a hot stove. On the other, imagine getting rejected by a friend. Scientists have actually discovered that to your brain, these aren't completely separate things. No, social rejection activates the exact same brain regions that process physical injury. It's wild. To your brain, a rejected text message literally triggers the same alarm systems as touching a hot stove.
And this brilliantly illustrates why heartbreak manifests in very real physical symptoms. We're talking chest tightness, loss of appetite, sleep problems, profound fatigue, and just a total difficulty concentrating. But why? Well, from an evolutionary perspective, it actually makes total sense. Thousands of years ago, human survival completely depended on the group. Being rejected by your tribe, that meant losing food, protection, safety, the whole shebang. So, evolution designed our brains to treat social rejection as a life-threatening danger. Your body is reacting to emotional pain as if it were a physical injury, because to our ancestors, it was quite literally just as deadly. But hey, there is incredibly good news here. Just as your body repairs a physical injury, emotional wounds can heal just like physical ones. Your brain is incredibly adaptable. Even when that ache in your chest feels so heavy and permanent, the pain doesn't last forever. Your mind is fundamentally built to recover.
Section 2. The Reminiscence Bump.
Tell me if this sounds familiar. Has an old song ever instantly transported you back in time to a high school summer or a road trip with your first love? Think about the timeline of your life, specifically from ages 15 up to 30. We see major life firsts in this window. First love, college, first apartment, first job, major life decisions. Psychologists call this the reminiscence bump. We remember an unusually large number of memories from this exact window of time because it contains so many of those firsts. Your brain deeply embeds these highly novel, highly emotional experiences right into your mental architecture.
And music acts as the ultimate key to those memories. Songs attach themselves so powerfully to our emotions. So years later, when a single melody unlocks these deeply embedded timeline memories, it's not just a fleeting feeling. Nostalgia is truly powered by neuroscience. This hardwired connection is exactly why people so often believe the music from their youth is the greatest music ever made.
Section 3. Emotional Displacement Explained.
Picture this brief scene. You come home completely stressed out from a long day. A loved one asks a simple, harmless question, and you just instantly snap at them. What you just experienced is defined as emotional displacement. It's expressing negative emotions or stress onto a safe, unintended target, which is usually a trusted loved one. But why are we crueler to family than to complete strangers? Well, it's because around our loved ones, we finally let our guard down, and our brains desperately seek an emotional release.
Think of stress like carrying heavy rocks in a backpack all day. When you finally get home and take that backpack off, those heavy rocks often accidentally spill out onto the floor, hitting your family members who are just standing nearby. Obviously, it doesn't excuse the behavior, but it totally explains the mechanics behind it.
And here is exactly why this matters for you. Awareness prevents us from hurting family. Understanding your own emotions and recognizing that your backpack is full before it spills over is absolutely crucial. By catching this displacement in action, we can stop accidentally hurting the people we love the most.
Section 4. The Power of Daydreaming.
For years, letting your mind wander has had a terrible reputation. People thought it was just laziness or a lack of focus, but modern psychology totally busts that myth. The science points us to the default mode network. This is a special brain network that becomes highly active specifically when your mind wanders or daydreams. So the crucial point is, when you think you're doing absolutely nothing, your brain is actually firing up a sophisticated engine of imagination.
When the default mode network takes over, some pretty incredible things happen. You imagine and visualize the future, you solve complex background problems, you reflect to better understand yourself, and you create entirely new ideas. Healthy mind wandering isn't a distraction. It's a creative powerhouse that has quite literally led to some of history's greatest breakthroughs.
Section 5. Embracing our complex minds.
We've explored 4 very different mysteries of human behavior today, but they all unite under the strange beauty of being human. We treat social rejection like a physical injury. We store old songs as glowing treasures. We accidentally displace our stress simply because we feel safe. And we turn distracted daydreams into world-changing creativity. We're beautifully imperfect and, honestly, highly complicated. There's a fantastic quote that perfectly captures this. The human mind is full of strange mysteries. Understanding them is the first step toward understanding ourselves. Gaining awareness of your own mental architecture doesn't just make you smarter. It genuinely leads to much greater compassion for yourself and for everyone around you. So I'll leave you with this final thought to take into your week. Now that you know how the machinery works, what hidden architecture will you discover in your own mind today? Pay close attention to your reactions, your memories, and your daydreams. You might just be surprised by what you find.